What is up, everybody? Welcome to the grand finals of the 2021 Duels Winter Finals. We've been at this for over a year now. It's all come down to this. We've got Tatanka versus Melvinfro. It's going to be a best-of-9 series. And we're going to start things off today on Reed Valley, which is the map where you start with 16 farms up on that plateau. And the farms last for 10 minutes. And there's one campfire in the middle to fight over. And it's also going to be cumulative bans. So we're going to do that for matches 1 through 4. And then after that, we are going to pop over to 8E, which is the ends, which is the map where you have that reduced vision, and then random mirror. So I'm really excited for this. Tatanka versus Melvinfro. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better grand finals. I really like the story between these players. Both players been around the scene for quite some time now. Tatanka a little bit newer, but both of them have won intermediate finals of TNT Championship Series, and both of them, funny enough, have been the runner-up in Premier League grand finals as well. Tatanka losing last season to Mishi, and Melvinfro losing to Meek in his Premier League. So this is kind of the battle of the Premier League runner-ups, the intermediate division winners. And of course, we're here with these wonky rules and this weird scenario, weird expectations. So I'm actually really excited to see Reed Valley with cumulative bans. I think that's going to be a lot of fun because Reed Valley is one of those maps where I think it has a lot of potential. It's super wonky because you have so much eco. So I'm expecting to see maybe some tier 3 bans. We've seen them performing very well on that map. Maybe Falcons even, because you can scale those quite nicely. Moles. We've seen some players get some cheesy wins with moles on that map. I mean, defense. There's so many different things, so many different tools that you'd want to ban on that situation. And then followed up, the random mirror on the map with reduced vision is going to be a lot of fun. These players are going to basically be given random tools, and we're going to see what kind of houses they can build. So I'm really excited. And we are wrapping up 2021 Duels. So big shout out to the gentleman and Premium Bow and everybody else behind the scenes for making this season, this year of seasons, I should say, so fun, so successful. By the way, if you're confused where the semifinals matches are, they were on Big Pimpin' Tosh's channel yesterday, aka twitch.tv/woodypun7. So if you missed those, be sure to check them out in the future. And other than that, I'm really excited. I love how Tooth and Tail constantly has events going on. So as we're wrapping this up, of course, we still have a bronze match that will get picked up by one of the streamers in the next few days, I'd imagine. Those players couldn't really make it here today. So yeah, we'll have the grand finals here, and then the bronze match between Meek and Mishi. And we're kicking off 2022 Tooth and Tail Championship Season 1. Tandor Draco is taking the helm, so big shout out to Tandor for doing all the hard work behind the scenes for the tournament organization. I hear all the time from people, who watch these VODs, who look at Tooth and Tail, and, it's a great game, it's fun, it looks like it'd be a blast to play, but it's hard to find players, or everybody's so much better than me, how do I really get into playing ranked? Well, I'm telling you, Tooth and Tail Championships 2022 Season 1 is the place for it. We're going to have Beginner League, Intermediate League, Premier League. You can sign up for that. Sign-ups are underway right now. There's a link to the Discord underneath the stream you're watching at the moment. So beginner and intermediate signups are open until March 13th, but if you want to sign up for Premier League, you need to sign up pretty soon. March 6th is the cutoff for that, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a placement matches, you can say, for Premier League. Tandor's going to do his best to make sure people belong in the divisions that they are in, right? But I really like that we have a beginner division. I think that's great, for all the folks that I've heard say, like, oh, it's hard to get into the game or hard to find players. I mean, this is the spot to do it. The beginner league, you'll get matched up against other beginners. I signed up. I'll be playing in an intermediate division, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But anyways, without any further ado, I think we're about ready to get started here. The bans for the first match have come in. And both players banned owls. I'm not surprised. Again, I'd imagine most of the bans that we're going to see here are going to be tier 3, maybe some defense. Both players are allowed to ban 1 unit. in between each match, but that only means for the opponent. So if Tatanka banned Fox, the Tatanka can still use the Fox. So I'm ready to roll. Let me give the signal to these players. The rules this time around aren't too crazy. And yeah, here we go. Reed Valley. We're hopping right into it. Let's see what is going to happen here. The players have been given the go-ahead to ready up. And here we go. We're hopping into game number 1. Again, this map is pretty crazy. You get that nice high ground base. Generally, it becomes an arms race with tier 3, in my opinion. And Falcon sometimes, turret. And we're seeing that reflected here in these deck choices. So I'm super excited. Here we go. Wolf Fox from Tatanka. That's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of defense, too. Both players kind of fine-tuning their deck selections. And we're going to get into it. So, yeah, really excited. This is going to be a great series. We've still got the bronze match that's going to be coming up in the next few days. And then, of course, Tooth and Tail Championship the next season. You can sign up for that as it is. In the bottom left, we've got Tatanka. And in the top right, Melvinfro. And look at this. Wolf Fox immediately from Tatanka. Wolf Badger from Melvinfro. Who wins that fight? It's tough. I want to say Fox, but I don't know, man. It's going to come down to the positioning. It's going to come down to who's kind of getting slowed down in the water, I think. I mean, a revved up... Well, I don't think the Badger would be revved in that situation, but still, a wolf-buffed Badger can probably deal with a Fox. I don't really know. It's not something that we've seen too often, and that's what's so much fun about these gentleman-style tournaments is that we see some wacky and wonky comps, and we see 4 Tier 3 place before the first minute mark. So, Tatanka already grabbing this middle campfire, which is actually very important. We haven't seen the game come down to starvation yet on this map. I mean, you do get 10 minutes on these starting farms. But generally, this middle is very important to do exactly what Tatanka's doing right now. Start throwing down some defense, start locking your opponent in, and making it to where you get to choose when the engagement comes. And hey, if we stalemate out, Tatanka's got the campfire too, so he's going to last longer, and Melvin will starve to death first. So Melvin sees that he's under the pressure. Melvin actually hasn't gotten a scout across the map yet. Tatanka knows a little bit what's going on, even comes in here again, and is going to get some good information. So this is going to be a slugfest. I don't know. It's always hard to say with these kind of matches. I mean, I feel like it's going to maybe start stalemating and drag on for a little bit, but with these kind of army comps, I mean, it's so swingy, right? I mean, if one army just kind of annihilates the other one, that's it. It's very easy to take that push and just go do critical damage. But Melvin's commander goes down. This could be a dead Badger. That is actually huge. The Badger makes it away. A couple tier 2 falling for Melvin's commander death, but I think he's okay. I mean, obviously that's points for Tatanka. But I don't think Melvin's too far behind. This army graph is lying a little bit to you because it is counting all this defense, but this is looking better and better for Tatanka. I think Melvin was a little bit too timid about fighting for this campfire. I mean, he really didn't even fight for the middle. He kind of just let Tatanka take it, and now Tatanka's set up in the center here and is going to start shelling through both sides with Ferrets, with Wolf, with Falcons, which is to be expected, but, I mean, hey, Tatanka's on the offense, right? So every one of these ferret shells, you know, you slowly pick off a pig, you kill a warren, stuff like that will really start adding up. And I guess it's gonna be up to Melvin when he wants to push out. How much extra vision are these balloons giving? A nice little bit. You can even hit this pig too when he rallies to the front of the farm. Overall, I feel like these little poke trades are kind of advantageous for Tatanka, but we'll have to see. I'm curious when another wolf is going to get added in. So far, just one wolf for both sides, and Melvin's going to go for it. I don't know about this. I don't think you can attack into all that defense, but what other choices Melvin have? He's going to try. Nice micro from the commander of Melvin, making sure not to die very quickly. So far, it seems like all the critical units for both sides are still up. Melvin's starting to make a little bit of progress onto this defense, but these balloons are just so hard to attack through. Melvin the Badger goes down, and immediately Melvin taps. GG. Tatanka takes game number 1, and again, I really think it was because Tatanka was able to take that central area and really start adding defenses. So what's going to be the ban choice? I think Wolf would be very smart. I think maybe even Balloon could be very smart here. Both players are deciding what they want to ban. Again, I don't think that attack from Melvin was very good, but at the same time, it's like, what is he gonna do? You know what I mean? You can't just sit there and let Tatanka build more and more balloons. So I get that Melvin had to try something. Hopefully Melvin this time around can shake that off and maybe fight for the center a little bit more, because again, that center just went to Tatanka completely uncontested. Okay, so we have our next bans in. Tatanka is not allowed to pick Ferret. So let me update that. So Melvin, which means Melvin banned Ferret. And then Melvin can't pick Wolf. Ooh, yeah, the Wolf ban coming in. I kind of expected that, and this is gonna be rough. I mean, losing the Ferret's not as big of a deal as losing the Wolf, in my opinion. So let me just make sure as these players are choosing, Tatanka can't choose Ferret or Owl, and Melvin can't choose Owl or Wolf. Again, everybody, I'm going to be hyping it up a million times today, but 2022 TNT Championship Season 1 signups are available. I highly encourage everybody to sign up. There's Beginner, Intermediate, and Premier League. So it doesn't matter if you've never played the game before or if you're one of our top tier players, we've got a division for you. And it's going to be a great time, a great way to get into playing Tooth and Tail. And here we go. Match number 2 is underway. Tatanka versus Melvinfro here. And let's see. Both these decks are legitimate. Okay. Melvin is going to use these moles. And look at this. Just immediate mole rushes. Did Tatanka scout that? He did. Now, we have seen mole rushes being utilized on this map beforehand, but that's generally when you saw that really greedy tier 3 opening, and the opponent just builds the moles right next to the tier 3 warrants. So Melvin going Boar Fox, and again, Melvin doesn't have the Wolf, and that is such a big ban in my opinion. And Melvin does have access to the Ferrets, and Tatanka doesn't. So I wonder how Melvin's gonna leverage the Ferrets against the Wolf, if that makes sense. You know, Melvin this time around did learn his lesson from game number 1 and is really prioritizing taking this middle. These moles, unfortunately, not seeming to do very much so far, which was a big investment for Melvin. I mean, he can sell these off and get most of the money back, but it's really the tempo hit that I'm worried about. But then again, Melvin didn't slack off on getting his early tier 3s. He does have his Fox and the Boar already cooking here. Double Wolf for Tatanka, really gonna show, hey, you should have taken the Wolf. And again, you know, honestly, a balloon ban. But then, I mean, you got artillery. There's so many good units on this map. You can't ban everything, right? But as the game progresses, we are gonna see more and more bans coming through. So this time around, it's the opposite of what we saw in game number 1. Melvin really pushed for this center area. The moles were a bit of a bad investment, but at the same time, you could say, well, hey, I mean, since Melvin built all those moles, that forced Tatanka to just kind of sit back and chill while Melvin took this middle area. Now that Melvin has the middle area, the world is his oyster. He gets to call the shots here. He gets the Ferrets, so he can do that poke. And with the balloon extra vision, yeah, he can see this artillery, so poking that down won't be too difficult. And the commander dying immediately, just doesn't have that much HP compared to the damage of a Fox at this phase of the game. Nice job with this Boar, you know, really not being afraid is a Fox. Okay, the Fox does kill it, but I mean, hashtag worth, I guess. Like, the Boar killed more stuff than its food value, but now Melvin's army is missing that Boar, but I still don't think Tatanka can attack. I like this approach from Tatanka. Just gonna go mostly Wolf Falcon and try to bust through this. I'd like to see him build a lot of mole kind of at the last minute, maybe, before he's ready to push out, just to kind of soak some of the damage up front, you know? Hopefully the balloons are shooting the moles and not shooting the Falcons when Tatanka moves out, so... Again, Melvin has created this contain, and another nice little spot is you do get a few extra tiles for warren placement, because the mains are going to run out of tiles very quickly. That's another thing that's kind of odd about this map is you don't have unlimited warren placement here, right? I mean, you are going to run out. So there is kind of a cap to how big your army can be. And things like a squirrel warren, you know, taking up real estate over like a wolf or a falcon can be a pretty big deal. Alright, Ferret's moving forward here, trying to find some damage, but Tatanka's doing a good job of keeping all of his valuable infrastructure out of the range of those ferrets here. So more and more falcons. Yeah, we're starting to get into a falcon arm race. This is kind of to be expected. But what is going to tank for these falcons? Again, I'm not sure how the AI works on the turrets and the balloons, but maybe Tatanka's going to try to, like, build a bunch of moles. You can even build mole warrens since they only take one tile, like, back here. And then try to micro to where you lead the attack with the moles to just soak the damage. I'm not sure. That's what I would be thinking if I'm Tatanka, but Tatanka's actually very far ahead in this falcon arm race at the moment, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to get over the fact that there's a ton of balloons here for Melvin. So yeah, we're just going to have to give this one a little bit of time here. Oh, there are the moles. Okay, does Melvin see it? Melvin does see it. Good scouting. And Tatanka going to pack it up and go home. That's hilarious. Man, that could have been brutal. All these moles come in and just kill the mill. And then Melvin moves his army out of position to deal with that. And then Tatanka moves in. That was really smart from Tatanka. He didn't quite get away with it. You know, good job from Melvin. And all right, Tatanka, ready to roll. He's got so many falcons here. 32 falcons with 2 wolves above him. And he's just going to go in here, and the commander is at 1 HP. Gotta be careful. The commander of Tatanka does go down. Melvin's still got his commander here. The boar in the front soaking some damage, and I think Melvin's gonna clean this up. Nice try from Tatanka, but losing the commander there was rough, and you know, not able to pull those falcons back out of the balloon hits. And how's the army graph looking? Yeah, nice victory there for Melvin. And the middle did not get busted. The campfire even is no longer ticking, which in a way is kind of a good thing for Melvin. Because if he can wait to retake this campfire if he wants. Let's see if he's just going to grab it now. Because that'll basically give him more starvation. Yeah, but the downside of doing that is you can't build more and more balloons here. Alright, so both sides kind of gearing up for battle number 2. Tatanka did lose that first one. Not quite down and out yet. The fox is a nice touch because the fox does one-shot the falcons. It's just really hard to control in these big attacks. So, good scout in here from Tatanka. Gonna see exactly what's going on from Melvin. Melvin just with a ton of falcons. Tatanka maybe trying to get dirty again with some moles? Okay. Gonna grab these moles this time around the 11 o'clock position to attack into the main. And we might actually see this map go to starvation. I've always been worried about that happening, and so far I haven't casted a game where it has. But we are 7 minutes in, and keep in mind in this game mode the farms last for 10 minutes instead of 5. Oh, the mole, he's gonna wait for all 18. Okay, this is smart. You bring the moles in, you tell them to kill the mill, you come back, you push out when Melvin rallies his units home to deal with the moles. And here we go, let's see, Melvin's already seen the moles approaching, but Tatanka is not gonna quite... Oh man, that's too bad. Melvin did see this happening, the balloons giving him that extra vision, his units kind of being in the right spot, and that's kind of a, you know, punch to the face number 2 for Tatanka. Unfortunately, he lost that big fight in the middle first round, and then these moles were a decent investment. You can't count those out. And they didn't get anything done. And by the way, the wolves buffing the farms made these ones fallow out even faster. I wasn't thinking about that, as the wolf is kind of a double-edged sword here. The clock is ticking for Tatanka. He hasn't buffed the other farms. He is going to go ahead and buff them now. So Tatanka must know this is it. He's got one more big attack to try to push in. And man, I'm telling you, really, whoever gets this center area, seems to have such a large advantage in these fights. In both games, we haven't really seen big skirmishes to try to grab this, so maybe that's what I'd like to see in the next game. I feel like these players should really focus on this middle priority, or at least not get it for free, if that makes sense. Like Tatanka got a game number 1, Melvin got a game number 2, but neither time was there a really big fight for it, I guess is what I'm saying here. All right, Tatanka knows this is it. He's got a lot of Falcons again. Both players want to try to poke with the Foxes as they can. Wolf buff on Tatanka's Fox. Tatanka trying to find an angle where he can take the fight. He might even just threaten the base race. Oh, this is about as good of an angle as Tatanka could have asked for. Completely walking around all of that middle defense. Will he have enough? These Wolves buffing up the Falcons here. But Melvin, with some moles on the ground to help tank a ton of Foxes, is able to take down the Falcon Wolf army. Point Melvinfro. We're tied up 1-1 here. And we need just a minute for the next round of bans to come through. So far so good, tied up. And the players are deciding on what they want to ban next. I think Balloon's pretty high up there, Falcon's pretty high up there. I mean, yeah, you ban Balloon, they can still use artillery, they can still use turret, but artillery and turrets in these kind of situations are not as strong as the Balloon, in my opinion. Like, the Ferret can shell down artillery or turrets. Balloon does such a good job of dealing with Falcons, which are, of course, a big part of this. So my guess would maybe be Balloon and or Falcon bans. So give these players just a minute. They're coordinating their next round bans. Yep, there it is. The Falcon bans came in, and we're ready to go into match number 3. Both sides banning Falcons. So no more Falcons in this series. And we're going to play this one and then one more on this map. And then for the rest of the games, we're going to switch over to the other combo of map and variant. I am not surprised to see both players banning Falcons here. Okay, so Tatanka can't use Ferret, Owl, or Falcon. And Melvinfro can't use Owl, Wolf, Falcon. So both sides just kind of deciding what they want to go with. And yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. And again, I'm going to hype it a million times today, everybody. But Tooth and Tail Championships 2022 Season 1. Beginner League, Intermediate League, Premier League. Sign up for it. There's a link to the Discord underneath the Twitch channel you're watching now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can just go to the Pocket Watch Games Discord. You can find the tournament pretty easily from there. Highly encourage everybody to sign up, especially new players or players who kind of play casually, right? But want to be part of something where they get to play a lot of games and experience the matches. And here we go. In the bot, yeah, this is what I wanted. Tatanka. Oh my god, Tatanka's going to bail out both sides of the million moles. But Tatanka decides to go against it. I guess Melvin's moles were just a little tiny bit faster. Tatanka realized, alright, if I keep this up, I'm dead. But yeah, I'd love to see Tatanka really try to contest this. He's got the Wolf on the way. Wolf Tier 1 is actually really strong this patch. The Wolf buff lasts, or I'm sorry, can buff up a ton of Tier 1 units. I think as many as like 21 or something like that. So, yep, this is what I wanted. I'm glad to see this adjustment from both players. They've both kind of realized how important this middle ground is to really dictating the rest of the game. A ton of resources from both sides coming into trying to get this, but the MGs here from Melvin coming in clutch and gonna push Tatanka back for now. Tatanka not allowed to use ferrets, keep in mind. So that ban that seemed a little bit questionable earlier, in my opinion, is really powerful here. I mean, Tatanka could kind of bust through this with ferrets fairly easily, but now the balloons are coming up, and Tatanka's in a rough spot. No falcons allowed. Melvin's got ferrets. Melvin's got snakes. So hopefully Tatanka can find a way to get out of this situation. I think Tatanka, that last fight, like, the problem was he was already pretty bloodied up at that point. He'd taken some inefficient engagements. But that last fight where Tatanka was able to kind of walk around the defense, I mean, that's ideally what you want, right? The opponents invested a ton into this defense. In theory, you could have more army than them because of that. And yeah, take the fight where the defense is not. But for the moment, Tatanka is turtling up as well. So again, we might just have to let this one ring out for a minute. Again, if you didn't see the semifinal matches, they are on twitch.tv/WoodyPun7. They happened yesterday. And we also have a bronze match for this tournament. It hasn't been scheduled yet, but we imagine it'll happen within the next few days. And we've got one more map after this one. One more match after this one on this map, excuse me. Good scout in here from Tatanka. Sees exactly what's going on. It's going to be Boar Fox versus Boar Wolf Fox. I like all the snakes here from Melvin. The ferrets are nice, but Tatanka is not really investing in a ton that the ferrets can hit. Again, I love the balloons here, just giving range on this plateau. You can shell down that cannon, but no MGs, no warnings or anything like that really in place. But I feel like in general ferrets have been performing pretty well this patch. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I've been mostly engaged with this this tournament, right, where people are playing under really crazy rules, so it doesn't quite qualify, I guess, to show how good or bad a unit is. Alright, Tatanka thinking about it? No, not going to move out just quite yet. Would love to get some Fox shots on the ferrets. Melvin microing up here, going to knock out that cannon. Nicely done. Fox shots come in and return the favor on those ferrets, but is Tatanka ready to do this? His army is actually pretty good at the moment. And again, if he can take this engagement while he's not under fire from all these defensive structures, he might have a chance here. These Foxes doing a great job poking down the tier 2 heavy army of Melvin. That's kind of what they're designed for. Yeah, Tatanka's just going to threaten the base race. Yeah, I love this. Really good job from Tatanka being able to rally over. Unfortunately, his reinforcements are going to kind of get picked off by the balloons, but the nice big boar bomb there from Tatanka. The boar's going down for both sides. Tatanka's commander goes down, though, and so do most of the tier 3. It's just a bloodbath here. Both sides losing absolutely everything. I mean, that went bad for Tatanka, but I thought it was going to go worse. However, Melvin did lose a lot of his key units there, too. So I wouldn't quite call Tatanka out yet. I think that was advantageous for Melvin. But Tatanka has got another round. He's at Randy Marsh meme right now, right? He's all bloodied up. I didn't hear no bell. So let's see what Tatanka can come up with. Mostly Fox. Still committing to a couple squirrels at the moment. Let's see. Actually getting a lot more squirrels. Such a tough cookie to crack. Balloon is just one of those units, man. I mean, they really don't have a good counter. I mean, the good counter, quote-unquote, is tier 1. But the problem is, when you get this many balloons, they just shoot everything down so quickly. You know? I mean, you're walking in with, like, 20 squirrels, let's say. How many balloons is that? 9? So immediately, 9 squirrels are down. Well, it's not that bad, because sometimes the balloons shoot the same target, but y'all know what I mean. Alright, Tatanka looking for an angle again. But yeah, there's no way to really deal with these balloons outside of just Ramboing on them, you know. There's no, like, ferret kind of unit that can poke them from afar. Tatanka, again, looking... I love this cheeky MG play to try to punish Tatanka for coming in at this angle. Tatanka's fielding another army here. Getting some of these Fox shots. Oh no, the snakes from the back just poisoning down the Fox. Very unfortunate for Tatanka. And Tatanka's army is getting cleaned up again. I think that's a tap out from Tatanka here. But we're going to go into match number 4. Now, Tatanka's staying in. I don't blame him. Like, to be honest, there's really no reason to tap out at all in this set, right? I mean, it's the grand finals, you know. If there's a chance, you should stick it out and try. Do what you can. Believe in the power of anime and friendship, and maybe, just maybe, somehow you can pull it off. But I feel like that was the nail in the coffin for Melvin, right? Again, this is looking pretty similar to last game where Tatanka tried to come out, take a fight. You know, the first fight wasn't that great, but the second fight was really, really bad. So Melvin is getting up to such a large amount of snakes and ferrets and even tier 3 at this point. Now, the snakes don't hit the balloons either. Oh my god. Melvin can't hit the balloons at Tatanka. The only unit from either side that can even hit the balloons are the squirrels. That is hilarious. I don't know why I didn't think of that until just now. I'm sure the chat put that together like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I mean, you can't even hit the balloons without the squirrels. That's so funny. So, I mean, in theory, Melvin doesn't have to attack in. Melvin's got the campfire, so Tatanka will starve out first. I mean, I love Tatanka trying to get something done here, but just all these attacks are not working out. Let's see what happens this time around. Yeah, Tatanka's starting to get railed. Tatanka trying to kite back. He does get a little bit of extra movement speed with the wolf, but Melvinfro's army is absolutely decimating here. And this should be a tap from Tatanka. I think even in a tournament setting like this, it's okay. Nope, alright. I mean, again, I get it, you know. Why not? Why not stick it out till the very end? And hey, you know, I mean, player fatigue is a big thing, especially in like a best of 9 series. Like, make Melvin work for this win, right? This army that Melvin's fielding is absolutely enormous. Melvin is going to start needing some squirrels to deal with these balloons. But Tatanka mostly getting rid of the balloons anyways. I think what Tatanka might try is a base race. I mean, I'm skeptical that it'll work, but maybe Tatanka sneaks his army out and can attack in. I love these MGs, by the way, in the corner from Melvin. I would even like to see him a little bit closer. But they're going to alert him if Tatanka's trying anything like throwing down those moles again. Or if Tatanka's even moving his army around, right? And they attack that turret, then you get that notification. Tatanka's just going to go right for the throat here, though. Tatanka's commander goes down, and his army is cleaned up. That balloon fire, just absolutely devastating. Tatanka now starving with 1,300 bucks worth of moles. All right, here we go. Can't quite build that many, but now Melvin is gonna move in and end this one. GG Melvin. Tatanka could use a win in this next match to tie things up, so they go into the next map in variant nice and even. I think that would be the best for the hype here, because this map is very different, you know. So if we go into match number 5, where, you know, both sides have 2 wins each, it's pretty much a best of 5 at that point. So GG, nicely done by Melvin. Gonna seal that game away. Alright, so we're gonna wait again for some bans here. And this is it. This is the last match on this variant. So the players are deciding what they want to ban. And I feel like the Bernie Sanders meme at this point. I will once again remind you about the 2022 Tooth and Tail Championship Season 1. Sign up ASAP. You don't have too long, especially if you want to play Premier League. Those signups are going to end very quickly. Beginner and intermediate signups last a little bit longer. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait, especially with the new patch and everything. Okay, Tatanka cannot pick Balloon, and Melvin cannot pick Mole. Those are the last bans coming in. So no balloons for Tatanka. And no moles for Melvin. That's interesting. I think Tatanka is saying the no moles move so he can immediately throw down a bunch of moles there in the campfire and secure that middle ground. But Tatanka can't bring the balloons this time. I mean, the artillery MG is still going to be nice. But the balloons are pretty critical on what makes that contain so good. And with Melvin having ferrets, he will be able to shell down MGs and artillery. Let's see how this one plays out. Here we go. We're hopping into the last game here on Reed Valley with cumulative bans. And let me do a little check here. Melvin's deck is legal. Tatanka's deck is legal. These players are so on point, man. That makes me so happy as a caster. Like, they're ready to roll right at the beginning of the stream. I mean, right when I hosted the custom lobby, like a few minutes in advance, both of them, bam, right in there. Good to go. Okay, this is important. If Melvin can win this match, he goes into the next map and variant with an advantage. And on the other side, Tatanka really needs to even it out here to go into the next variant nice and fair. The next variant's going to be pretty cool. Random Mirror is kind of hilarious. I think we're going to see some fun games out of that. But it's also a pretty big test of skill. Okay, I got to watch this middle. Alright, Tatanka immediately moles and campfires. Melvin knows he doesn't have moles, so he's not even going to try to bother. Instead, he's just going to build a ton of lizards. This is very smart from Melvin. Tatanka at home is getting some squirrels, but Tatanka really needs to throw these MGs down, like, now. But he doesn't know the lizards are coming. Okay, he's going to get a pretty quick scout on it. Oh my god, Melvin might actually take the center with all these lizards. Oh, this is so hype. Okay, come on, Tatanka, build the MGs. I am a little caster bias here for Tatanka, I will admit, because I want to see this get tied up 2-2 before we move on to the ends. And the MGs are up in time. There's moles, there's squirrels. Will it be enough? It looks like it. The mole's doing a good job of tanking on the front. And Melvin is pushed back for now. Tatanka will secure this center area. And so far, it's pretty much been who's ever secured this area has won the game. Tatanka a little bit paranoid about some lizard run-bys. Going to throw down some turrets. I like that he totally blocked this choke, but he kept this one open for his units. And the artillery cannon coming in for Tatanka now. The pigeons are going to be very important here because Tatanka has no other methodology for high ground vision. And he's going to need that to kind of poke in with the fox. But let's see, Melvin, a ton of tier 1 into the boars. The boar much more powerful here because there's no balloons, because there's no falcons. I mean, yeah, you can build a bunch of defense, but the boar is pretty good at just roasting in there, dealing that bonus damage to structures and eliminating all that defense. And then that's where the Squizzard runs over for Melvin. So I think Melvin has a really cool strategy here. Let's see if it will come to fruition. Meanwhile, Tatanka, a bit slower than the other games, but still generally just trying to get up to that Wolf Fox. Trying to reinforce his position. He won the early game. He got the campfire in the middle of the swamp. So we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. I like the addition of chameleons coming in. I think chameleons can do a pretty good job against all this tier 1. Yeah, Tatanka really doesn't have a good answer for the tier 1 outside of the defenses and his own tier 1. So the camps here make some sense. And Boar Fox on the way. I wonder when Melvin is gonna push out here. Like, what's he gonna wait for? Is he gonna move right now with the double boar? Is he gonna wait for the fox? Looks like maybe. Okay, he's got the ferrets too, and he's got the balloon vision to help the ferrets out, which is nice. Still going to be an awkward dance around the artillery cannon, but it's not impossible for the ferrets to shell it down. But Tatanka is going to want to protect his defenses from these shells by like dancing his units, but every now and then tier 1 units are going to die to these ferrets. So this is slow value for Melvin here. Doing a pretty good job so far of not losing any ferrets. The fox is here for Tatanka. Alright. Here we go. Melvin's moving out. He's got the double board. The lizards, though, are running really far forward, getting mowed down before the rest of the army comes in. He really needed to lead here with the boars. I think Tatanka's doing okay so far. He really needs the wolf buff to land on the fox. It hasn't landed on the fox just yet. And Melvin is going to clear through all this, but he took heavy losses doing it. Will Tatanka have enough? The wolf is going to go down. Oh, okay. The fox will live, though. And Melvinfro has broken through Tatanka's position here in the middle. And is in a fantastic spot to create his own madness with the balloons, which, by the way, he's got access to. And Tatanka does not. And once these balloons start going up, I mean, Tatanka's going to find himself in a similar situation as he did in previous matches. And so far, I mean, these fights for Melvin have been phenomenal. I think most fights this series so far have been Melvin victories. He's doing a really good job with his army composition when he's taking fights. I mean, well, I guess that's a little bit misleading because a lot of the fights so far have been dictated by Tatanka. Okay, and this is the problem. Now that the balloons are starting to get up here for Melvin. Tatanka maybe needed to try to push out to get this a little bit faster. I don't know if he's going to try to go for some Metal Gear Solid chameleons. I mean, he's got 10 of them. So, in theory, he could try to sneak the chameleons through and, like, poke down a mill. But as Tatanka's out scouting, Melvin is getting a ton of work done here. Shelling the opponent's army with that, again, with that extra balloon vision. Just picking off everything he can. Melvinfro on fire today so far. Okay, Tatanka with the sneaky cams. Does Melvin know anything's happening? I don't think so. Tatanka doesn't want to make it obvious. Ooh, he's got the wolf buff on the foxes, but the wolf buff does not last very long on tier 3 anymore. Alright, all the cams over this side. Oh, I want to see Tatanka pull a rabbit out of the hat here. I really do, but this is looking very Melvin favored in my opinion. He's getting up to that similar composition of like snake, ferret, fox. With some defense, with some boars. Tatanka being sneaky. Oh, Melvin might catch. Melvin is suspicious. Melvin knows something's going on. He checks over there and he catches Tatanka. Moving out and about. Still doesn't know about the cams, though. He looks over. He grabs the turret. Oh, man. Melvin's so on top of it. Really crossing the T's, dotting the I's here. Looking for, he knows Tatanka's probably gonna try to do something desperate, and it looks like what Tatanka wants to do is kill the mills with the cams. He's gonna move in again. If his commander goes down, these are a bunch of dead chameleons, and the commander does go down, and this is devastating for Tatanka. No, such a cool idea, but Melvin sniffed it out. Tatanka fumbled a little bit. He overcommitted there with his commander. He's got to know the commander is gonna fall to that foxfire. Tatanka trying to lick his wounds here, but oh, that was such a heavy blow. So many chameleons dead for free. And Melvin knows now what Tatanka's trying to do. I mean, it is pretty obvious when the commander is like rallying in here, holding down the button on the mill, right? And again, the shelling happening from the ferrets with that balloon vision. So, I think the rest of this series is really going to come down. Like, I'm curious what the players' mindsets are after this match. I think if Tatanka plays it cool, you know, it can be frustrating because this is such a weird map. Weird comps. Here we go. Tatanka gonna try to come in here and get something done, but I just feel like Melvin's got too much. And it's gonna be a repeat of what we've seen the last couple games here. Tatanka's army getting belted, and will he try to stay in, or is he just gonna, yeah, just save the energy for the next game? I agree. So nicely done here from Melvin. Leading the series 3-1. I need to switch to the other map real quick, which is gonna be the ends. Okay, so we're on the ends, and this is a random mirror now. So Melvinfro up 3-1 in a really good spot to take this series. And again, it's just going to come down to mindset, I think, right? Because it's a random mirror. This map is it's about as close to a regular game of Tooth and Tail that you're going to get in this gentleman-style tournament. And yeah, I mean the mirror, the random mirror, and keep in mind, if you like press the random button in the game, it's gonna like give you a deck, right? But it's gonna balance it a little bit, right? It's gonna try to give you some tier 1, some tier 2, some tier 3. This is like true random, where gentlemen pretty much rolled a d20 over and over to determine what the units are. And since it is a mirror, both players are going to have the same units available to them. So really the skill here can determine a lot. The question is, how is Tatanka's mindset? Okay, so the first match is going to be Squirrel, Boar, Wolf, Fox, MG, Balloon. We can't get away from Wolf, Fox, and Balloon this series. So just waiting on these players. They're figuring out all the rules, making sure they got everything right. Let me make sure I'm correct. Okay, we're on the ends. Okay, here we go. So it's going to be Squirrel, Boar, Wolf, Fox, MG, Balloon from both sides. Melvinfro eking out the bans on Reed Valley victory. And this is what we're playing for the rest of the series. We're going to be on the ends, which again is more of a normal looking map. The difference here is the reduced vision. The lore is that there's a sandstorm going on. So you can't see as much as you normally do. This is all the commander can see. Speaking of which, in the right side we have Tatanka, and over on the left Melvinfro. Now, Tatanka might be a little bit better at this Wolf Fox style. We have seen Tatanka using it a lot today so far. Really the Boar Wolf Fox Balloon was very popular in the first few matches. And we're in this awkward situation where the squirrels are the only one that are going to be able to hit the balloons. And of course the squirrels are going to get wrecked by the MGs or by the boar. But at the same time, you know, setting up 5 or 6 balloons is actually a really big, really tall order now. You know what I mean? Like, on the other map, you start with 16 farms, you have a crazy economy, it's pretty easy to get away with that kind of stuff, so I'm not even super convinced we're going to see balloons. Maybe in response to, like, scouting a fox from the enemy. Oh, by the way, you also do start with a free natural base mill on this map, so both players just going to go ahead and start farming up, and maybe we might get caught in a farming where both players are just not really going to do much else besides shoot straight up to 16 farms. Tatanka going to come in and scout, see Melvin's doing the same thing, same by Melvin, so far so good. Both players have been given the thumbs up pretty much, like, yeah, it's okay to macro, and Tatanka seeing this, again, it's just going to go home and do the same thing. Now, you could try to build units, but it's generally not the right response, because if you do, and you don't get away with it, as I say that, Tatanka does throw down a single Squirrel Warren, but that should force a Warren out of Melvin. Yeah, maybe even 2, let's see. Or is he just going to go right for the tier 3? This is kind of dangerous Not throwing down any. Yeah, he's gonna go right for the wolf. So Tatanka could actually move out with these squirrels. Okay, MG's, yeah. So Melvin's just gonna... this is pretty smart for Melvin if he can get away with it. I mean, Tatanka's economy is doing nice. Tatanka really needs to scout this wolf here. In the nicely high tier 3 units here spot that Premium Bow put on this map. All the custom maps of this tournament, by the way, were from Premium Bow, so big shout out to the old P-Boop. Everything he continues to do for the scene, behind the scenes. And we're going to have a board here from Tatanka. Fox on the way for Melvin. Is Tatanka going to actually do this? I think if you hit this right angle, right? If you come in parallel instead of perpendicular to these turrets, yeah, like Tatanka's doing, you might be able to bust through this. Melvin's going to have to panic and build some more turrets. And no, Tatanka's just going to try to ignore the front turrets. Come back here and finish these off before they can build. Now Tatanka can knock out like all these pigs. Really nicely done here from Tatanka. However, Melvin's wolf is almost here. He's got the fox in the way as well. Unfortunately, but he's going to start shooting the Warren. Is he going to have enough, Melvin? Oh, I think the wolf's going to come out in time. Not enough squirrels left here. Tatanka needs to be careful, though, to not bleed off the reinforcements. So the wolf is going to get out. Unfortunately, more squirrels are going to die to the turrets. Tatanka needs to get out of here. Kills the Warren, though, which is always nice. Bleeding off a couple... Oh, if these squirrels pick off a pig, hey! Yeah, that's a dead pig. Look at this. Ton of damage in from Tatanka. Very good job. Really punishing Melvin for being quite greedy here. Fox is out and about for Melvin. Gonna look for some bacon, but Tatanka's ready for this. He's got some squirrels, he's got some turrets. Ooh, starting to focus in on the fox, but it gets the buff, is gonna run away for now. Getting some good value so far, lots of dead squirrels. We do see that single balloon coming up, and the fox is on the way for Tatanka. Has Melvin hasn't got a chance to come in and scout in a good while. And even after all that damage, you know, Melvin did get back up to 16 farms faster than Tatanka has made it there. But I would say maybe the amount of money that's been mined so far is still pretty even. If anything, it might be a bit Tatanka favored, judging by the income graph. And Tatanka is going to get up to that 16 farms now. So, Tatanka moving forward. Okay, it looks like the game timer is a little bit wrong. Yeah, the 5... we might be starting at around 24 seconds. I'll have to check that next time. Because I was like, wait, we're past 5 minutes. They still have 8 farms in the main. That can happen. That's pretty common on custom maps. Sometimes the game timer is a little bit wrong. Alright, Tatanka ready to rock and roll here. He's got a board. He's got a lot of squirrels and a fox. And a mission to tie this series back up as soon as he can. Melvin's army here is still pretty humble. Nice micros so far from Tatanka. Really good job. Cleans everything up. Melvin taking huge losses there. Losing both tier 3. Tatanka keeping both his tier 3 alive. Or even all 3 tier 3, I should say, as the wolf was killed there too. And this might be game Tatanka. He's getting in to the exposed pigs. Melvin might be able to focus down this fox, but yeah, Melvin just taps out. Nicely done there by Tatanka. Really cool action-packed game, which is going to bring our series here to 2-3. Okay, so we're going to have Lizard, Toad, Boar, Barbed Wire, MG, and Mine for the next game. Again, these random mirrors have already been predetermined by the gentleman. So we just need the players to ready up and lock them in. No rush here from these players, though. I think we're moving at quite a nice pace. Everything's going right. I always love that when hosting an event, as there's such potential for things to go wrong. And let's take a look at these decks here. Lizard, Toad, Boar, Barbar, MyNMG. Yep, both sides got it. And here we go. We're going to hop into match number 6 here. On the left-hand side, we have Melvinfro, his opponent, playing as Bellified in the right, Tatanka. Alright, Lizard, Toad, Boar, and a bunch of defenses. This could just become a Lizard game. I think I need to do a better job observing, like, the limited vision, because I didn't point that out very much last time, and it is a really interesting aspect of this map and variant. But yeah, I mean, these decks are interesting, but I'm curious if this is just going to be like Lizards, you know? We'll see. It looks like both players are doing the old handshake agreement. Get up to 8 farms. Let's see how much they're going to be greedy on this second base here. Maybe Melvin will learn his lesson this time and build a tier 1 Warren instead of some MGs. Really good micro from Tatanka last game. I think that really helped him seal the deal. So, nothing crazy just yet. A couple mines coming out for both sides. The players are generally working towards saturating up those second bases, to be expected. And it becomes, yeah, I was going to say, really, we're waiting to see who's going to throw down that tier 1 Warren first. It's going to be Tatanka. Melvin needs to scout it. He is going to scout it. Melvin's scouting has been great. And again, keep in mind, scouting is more difficult here with the reduced vision. So, Melvin's not going to be a Greed Lord this time. Is going to go ahead and commit to a Warren or two just to make sure his pigs are nice and safe from any harassment. So yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we see the Boar coming down from Tatanka, not even really trying to hide it that bad. So again, I was curious if this was just going to be Lizards, because we will see that sometimes in matches, right? Where you have this crazy cool deck, and it's like, well, I have Lizards available, so I'm just going to build those. But no, Boar's on the way, Toad's on the way. Boar on the way for Melvin as well. 2 mines detonated to kill 1 Lizard, so a little bit of lost value there. But honestly, these little skirmishes here, kind of no harm, no foul situation. Both sides, you know, trading a unit or two. Maybe one player got a little bit ahead, but not by enough to really matter. The question is anyone going to scout the tier 3? Tatanka is out and about looking for it right now. And we'll see it, I think. Oh, no! Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. See the limited vision? The limited vision. I mean, it doesn't matter too much because Tatanka has his own Boar anyways. But that's hilarious. I'm really glad I got the camera shot on that. Because it's kind of funny. But alright, these Boars will be coming out soon. Neither side really hard committing to that full second base saturation. Let's see if Melvin is going to get in and see the Boar. Okay, Melvin does see it. Ooh, Tatanka catches a third base from Melvin. Going to try to knock that down with the Lizards. And the Boar is slowly marching across the map. Toad's on the way as well. These Toads would be good to just kind of minesweep for Tatanka. And the Boar is here for Melvin too, but it's not at the front lines. It is still waddling to the skirmish. So Melvin forced to retreat for now. Lots and lots of Toads here. Needs to be careful with those. Those could all blow up and not do a lot of damage. 3 of them go down. Tatanka knocking out the mill. Melvin does have his Boar here now, so we're going to get an engagement. This is going to be pretty much Boar versus Boar. But hey, those Toads did soften up Tatanka's Boar a little bit. Tatanka doesn't really seem like he wants to commit to the Boar Bomb. But might have to here. Yeah, he's gonna... If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. Oh my God, are you kidding me? 1 HP! The Lizard! Okay, the Lizard gets it. Hero Lizard there for Tatanka. So absolute bloodbath so far. Tatanka's commander going down. Gonna bleed off some rallying units there, unfortunately for him. Okay, so Pretty fun match. Both players committed to another round of boars here. So we might kind of be chilling until the new boars hit the field. Mostly kind of looking around for gristmills. Second bases are fully saturated now. That 5-minute mark just hit. Again, the game timer is just slightly off. I think by about 20 seconds. I forgot to check that. I'll check it next time we spawn in. Alright, boar is already back for both sides. Melvin actually looking to get 2 boars. So I'm curious if he's going to want to delay the engagement until that additional boar hits the field. This is such a silly game. It's like Lizard Toad, and then the tier 3 that kind of counters it, you know? The mines have been pretty impactful. I think these turrets are kind of more just to prevent like small lizard run-bys or to alert Tatanka if Melvin's doing anything crazy. Melvin actually starting to build up to a good amount of lizards here. Got that third base rolling pretty well. Tatanka is going to come in to harass it now. Doesn't know where the army is. Again, I mean, look how little fish Tatanka has. All these lizards will die, but, you know, they got the job done. They killed a lot of pigs. Melvin was able to save one there at the end by selling it. Meanwhile, Melvin is aware of the third base for Tatanka. Oh, what's going on here? Tatanka actually snuck these lizards through. I thought they were all dead. That's hilarious. Picks up another pig for his trouble there. Both sides starting to power up in the lizard counts. The second boar has hit the field for Melvin. I'm curious how impactful that'll be. I mean, it's a ton of HP to chew through. And these boars are no joke. I mean, if you can't take it down, they're going to torch your entire base and kill all your eco. Tatanka's not going to be happy seeing 2 boars here. Tatanka's just moving his boar straight in. He wants to get this boar bomb damage on both these boars, I'd imagine. And actually, surprisingly, Tatanka is dealing with these boars pretty well. How is his boar got the highest HP here? Alright, all the boars are dead. What a crazy fight. That was honestly pretty even, I guess. Looking at the graphs. But Tatanka kind of started with more army value. I think the double boar now, though, is a bridge too far for Melvin. He needs to sell one of those Warrens, because having both of them supply blocked while Tatanka's boar is building, that's not helping anybody out but Tatanka. So, unfortunately, Melvin is either going to have to sell tier 1 and commit to the dream, a double boar, which looks like it's going to be the play. Alright, he got the, both boars are cooking here. Tatanka will get the next boar out a little bit faster. So, curious to see if Tatanka will use that window. This is a pretty scrappy game. This is pretty fun so far. It might kind of come down to map control and positioning and stuff here at the very end. These third bases are kind of safe, but the rest of them are going to be pretty exposed. Tatanka's little disrespect mill, I guess, here on the front finally getting dealt with. But hey, you know what? Stole some money from Melvin's side of the map. Probably worth. Alright, well, we've got all our boars in position again. Double boar for Melvin. Tatanka pleased with just a single boar. Not committing to that additional tier 3 just yet. Lots of turrets on the map, though, for Tatanka. Eating into his army count here. That's 540 food wrapped up in turrets. But he's got a nice spread. I mean, if Melvin's going to attack in, he's gonna be under some fire somewhere from these turrets. I also like how they're placed pretty far apart from one another, so that boar AoE damage isn't just flaming down multiple MGs at once. Look at this line of barbed wire here. All right, Tatanka finds a little spot though to get around it, and is gonna come in. He's trying to bring his lizards back. They actually hit a mine up there from Melvin, and Melvin decimates the army this time around. Both of Melvin's boars are still alive, plus a ton of toads. Can Melvin actually push through here? These boars are going to take a lot of damage from these MGs. One of the boars will probably die. 2 HP? There it goes, okay. Economies are still pretty similar. It's all about that third base at the moment. Melvin's even got the fourth base up and running since his natural is totally farmed out here. And all this barbed wire, Tatanka just walks straight through there. Feels bad. But hey, you know what? Tatanka hit a mine. He got kind of choked up. Melvin took that attack very nicely. Tatanka trying to get the wire down on his side of the terrain. Looking for another big engagement here, but taking just so much damage from the AoE up front. Tatanka looking a little desperate here, just trying to get whatever he can with these lizards. His boar's moving out as well. Keep in mind the limited vision. These players don't have a lot of information to work with as far as like army movements and positioning. That attack was a pretty big fumble though for Tatanka. I feel like Melvin is getting into a better and better spot this game. It's going to be hard for Tatanka to afford another boar. He's going to have to start selling off some of this defense here. And Tatanka's starting to mine out. He did get the jump on the third base, so now Melvin's got the better economy. Tatanka has to expand to this base here if he wants to farm anymore, which looks like he's trying to work on. Boar's starting to work through these wires. Gonna come back home and heal up a little bit. I don't know, this is starting to look better and better for Melvin. Tatanka's economy is starting to peter out here. Melvinfro with double boar. You know, last time Melvin tried to attack in, there's too many turrets, but Tatanka really struggling to keep these turrets up here. Understands that these turrets are really what's keeping him in the game, but at the same time, your army's hungry, you know? Every one of these turrets could be a farm, so... At this point, I'm curious if Tatanka is going to try to keep macroing up. It looks like, yeah, he's throwing down some more farms, okay. Ooh, careful with this boar. Okay, good. I'd be worried. We're kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty here, so, you know, these boars are very important. It's going to be hard to continue to build more and more as this match progresses and we get farther and farther into the game. Okay, a little bit of flame throwing going on back and forth. I like this for Melvin. Like, keep the boars right here. You know, you're naturally funneling the lizards this way because of the barbed wire. Alright, Tatanka finally getting some of the farms reassembled. But Melvin, oh no, Melvin thinking about trying to move in, but realizes that the barbed wire is giving Tatanka a notification that there are enemy units there, so gets out of there. Probably a smart move from Melvin. He might have taken out a couple pigs, but I think Tatanka would have taken minimal damage there and cleaned up all the lizards. We might actually be in a starvation game, and Melvin realizes that he's got that extra starvation farm. Are we going to trade boars? Melvin is going to commit the lizards here. Oh my god, this does... Well, he kills all the lizards, which is nice. Now Tatanka can think about moving in. He got one of the boars low. But, I mean, this boar bomb goes off, kills all these lizards. Oh no, the boar lives with 2 HP! Oh, that is so bad here for Tatanka. He lost his boar. He did kill a lot of lizards with the boar, but losing all the lizards there and not even killing the enemy boar, that thing's at 2 HP, it's chilling. Back at the base, it's living its best life, getting healed back up. Tatanka's starting to look a little desperate. Really hoping that Melvin is starting to putter out here. But Melvin's still fielding a pretty sizable army. Again, it is hard. Some of these decisions to come into attack, I mean, keep in mind the limited vision really can make you get into some blunders without even knowing it. Another boar here for Tatanka. These boars slowly healing up. They just have so much HP. Tatanka's bringing this boar in. He really wants to get the bomb on the opponent boars, but again, I think Tatanka is being a little bit reckless here. maybe overestimating how much damage that boar bomb does. Yeah, 2 boars to push through, and Tatanka has committed so many resources to trying to lower that boar number, and just is not able to so far. I wonder what Tatanka is going to try next. I mean, the center mill is just not going to get taken. If anybody takes that, they just win, pretty much, for map control reasons. So what you see is what you get. And Tatanka doesn't have any starvation farms, so he's not going to win the long haul grindy game here. He's got to find a way to close this one out. I'm a little bit surprised he's never tried to commit to a second boar of his own. I mean, I get it. It's 360 food. It's a pretty tall order. Melvin playing things pretty safe, though. Melvin hasn't tried to field an attack in a while. Instead, he's just been holding on with some pretty rock-solid defense, taking some nice trades. Again, another boar here from Tatanka. And he's trying to move this boar in kind of by itself. Trying to get the toad hits on the enemy boar, too, I think. Is this boar not attacking? There it goes. Jeez. Okay, now trying to get on top of these. Okay, that's going to be 1 dead boar. But the other one should live for Melvin. So boars get traded out. A lot of tier 1 dying. But that still looked worse for Tatanka, I think. It's hard to tell. And Melvin commits to that second boar. Melvin only on 2 farms, though. Tatanka might actually be winning this due to a war of attrition. I mean, he was a little bit later on getting his 4th base. The 4th base still has plenty of pigs on it. And Tatanka's economy is down in the dumps. Or, I'm sorry, Melvin's economy. Tatanka's looking around now, kind of realizing that, like, hey, this is totally done. I'd love to see him scout this base. Because he doesn't have the right information, I don't think. He needs to scout this base and see how broke Melvin is. Oh, but Tatanka's last base is starting to fallow out as well. There we go. Tatanka sees it. So he knows Melvin's probably down to his last army. If Tatanka can do another trade here, and then be able to reinforce, Melvinfro is now starving. He does have 2 starvation farms, so he's not going to lose the game. But yeah, Tatanka's starting to realize, hey, wait a second. I might be able to outlast the opponent here. 1 HP, alright, that boar goes down. 1 more boar for Tatanka. For Melvin, rather. Melvin absolutely cannot afford another boar. He needs to go home and sell that additional boar warren. Unless he's going to be a madman and sell all the tier 1. Let's see what his decision is here. Okay, sells a boar warren. Yep. Makes sense. So Tatanka doesn't have a lot of food left either. Keep that in mind. This looks like it's gonna definitely be out in like the next minute or so. We're on our way to a 20-minute match here, which is absolutely insane. Tatanka even starting to flex, thinking about taking this center mill. It is really risky though. I mean, every little bit of food counts. Yeah, Tatanka's now starving. But Tatanka has no starvation farm. Oh, this is a disaster. Okay, he's got to sell off some turrets. Let's see. Armies are actually... This is insane. Armies are like pretty much exact even. 12 tier 1, some tier 3. Pretty similar amount of defenses. Like, after everything was all said and done, the whole map's mined out. Like, all the trades ended up being pretty even. Tatanka does have some food in the bank. Wants to really get as much value out of this boar as possible. This is gonna be the most important battle of the whole game. If either one of these boars stays alive, it's a disaster. How much damage does the boar bomb do? Is that enough? That's gotta be enough. Yeah, both boars go down. Okay, Tatanka is starving. Melvinfro does have 2 starvation farms. Tatanka's got plenty, though, to take this. Okay. Melvin did not sell the tier 3 warren. No way. Is he really gonna try to go for another boar here? I think that's a big blunder for Melvin. He's got some big dreams here, but you're not affording another boar. There's no way. Sell that Warren, build the lizards that you can, and try to snipe that pig, right? Tatanka securing this middle mill might be GG. Melvin still has that Warren. I think that's a pretty big mistake for Melvin here. These toads are going to clean this up. Yeah, Melvin needs that 180 food that Border Warren represents. I mean, every buck matters right now. Tatanka looking for the last pigs, doesn't see any. God, this game came down to the wire. That's insane. Both sides mined out their entire portion of the maps pretty much. Good pickup here for Melvin. Even gets out of starvation. That's actually really big for Melvin. If Melvin... Oh, but the toads here might be enough. Oh, he's just targeting the mill, and he gets it! Melvinfro! Oh, no. Okay, Tatanka. Let's see. He can sell the MG. I think he can sell enough to... The problem is Tatanka needs 120 food to get out of starving. And he needs 20 seconds... 21 seconds on the clock, because it takes 20 seconds to build a mill. So he's got to get another mill done. Like, now. And if Melvin denies that mill, that's it. That's it. If Melvin can stop this mill. We got 10 seconds here. Melvin does not commit. Oh, this is so dicey for both sides. Again, the limited vision is huge, and he gets it. That is game. Tatanka does not have enough time to get another gristmill up. He's gonna kill that last pig. And I can't believe it, Melvin. Wow, what a match. Melvinfro getting up to game point here. 4-2, but it's still anybody's series. Tatanka can come back. Let's see, we're gonna have Mole Toad, Skunk Cam, Owl, Barbed Wire. Oh my god. For game number 7. What a series. What a game. That was a blast. Can't believe Melvin came back. I thought for sure when Tatanka got that center mill, that was just going to be it. But Melvin had enough lizards to DPS it down very quickly. So yeah, super hype. These players have their decks. Let me make sure. Mole Toad, Skunk Cam, Owl, Barbed Wire. Everything looks good. And players are just double checking some things. We're all ready to roll though. We're about to get into it. Match number 7 here of the grand finals of the 2021 Duels period. Once Melvin is ready, we'll be hopping right in. As Melvin's taking a second, maybe grab a drink or something, I will remind everybody once again of Tooth and Tail Championship 2022 Season 1. Sign-ups are available now. Again, if you're, I hear it all the time from people, you know, it's hard to get into playing this because the player base is small and a lot of people are already at a very high level. But this is great for beginners. We have a beginner league, an intermediate league, and a premier league. You can sign up for the next week or so. So definitely hop into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. On the left-hand side, on match point, we've got Melvinfro. And over on the right, Tatanka needing to come back here, needing to get some more points on the board. And look at these decks. This is awkward because none of these units can shoot up. So owls are just going to exist. Unless we see a pig take down an owl. But man, I don't think we're going to see that happen. This is kind of hilarious. It's almost like a Western duel, right? The quick draw, the pistol on the holster on the belt. You know, who's going to commit to the owls? Because if you get a little too owl crazy, speaking of which, the mole's coming in for Tatanka, old school. This is actually really smart on this map because you have limited vision, so it's going to be a lot easier to pull this off. Here we go. Melvinfro in position in time, though. Gets the sell. The one pig finishes just in time, so Nice there for Melvin. A little bit lucky to be in the right place at the right time, but you can't blame Tatanka for trying that. Puts Tatanka a little bit behind economically, but he's going to get back into it. Get some pretty quick cams, though. Maybe he's going to try to punish a quick Owl Warren with those. And yeah, again, what's interesting this time around is the Owls are, again, pretty much invincible since nothing can attack up. But if you try to rush into those Owls too quickly, you could get punished by something like Chameleons or Moles, taking out the Warrens, that sort of thing. So you're just going to have to let this one breathe a little bit. Again, really interesting story here. Both Melvin and Tatanka have won intermediate series of the Tooth and Tail Championships before, and they've both came in second. They've both been runner-ups to Premier League as well. They've both lost in the Grand Finals. So you couldn't really ask for like a more evenly match squad here. I think Tatanka gets a little bit more fan service these days than Melvin does, but Melvin really showing that he's in great shape. He's a competent player and doing fantastic against Tatanka, who is arguably the king of last patch, right? The strongest Wolf Owl player. A little bit of micro there with the cams, and I sell on that farm from Tatanka. And we see the first Owl getting thrown down by Melvin here. Tatanka gonna pick up a pig. Nice. He might even try to get another one. Melvin is coming in here with his own cams. Gonna get 3 pigs. Gonna be able to get away with this. Melvin might try to be wonky with the stealth reveal. I love this little wire here. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He gets the stealth reveal. But it doesn't last long enough. That's hilarious. That's so spicy. Tatanka getting his secret agents out of there alive. I don't think Tatanka's scouted the Owl, though, so Melvinfro taking some hits on the economy, but we'll get that first Owl out. And Chameleon Skunk will do very nicely against Owls, but I think eventually, right, eventually you get enough free units. Oh, Tatanka with the moles! Oh, here we go. Melvin knows. Melvin's trying to come and stop it. Building some wire. He just needs to sell the Warren. He's going to try to defend. The Chameleon's get here just in time. Melvin keeps the Owl Warren alive. Oh my God. Nice try from Tatanka there. It throws down another Owl Warren too. Alright, so what's Tatanka's move going to be? Melvinfro's already got 2 Owls. He's got a ton of cams. Is he going to try to push? I mean, 6 cams. I think 6 cams would do pretty well for Tatanka here. He's going to get a scout in. Melvinfro's going to actually push out here. I think... Where are the Chameleons? Okay, they're here on the front line. Yeah, I think Tatanka wrecks here, right? Yeah, he cleans everything up. And he's going to counter push. This is going to be really bad for Melvin. And this is what we need for the stream, because I want to see this go all the way to game number 9. I don't know about you guys. But I don't want to stop casting just yet. Here we go. Tatanka moving in. I would say just target the mill, right? Let's see what he decides. He's just going for the pig so far. Finally starting to get on that mill. That is a dead mill. Nicely done for Tatanka here. Let's see how greedy he is. He's got 6 cams. What, only 4 on the front? No, 5 on the front line. Okay, he's going to come in and try to deal even more damage. And yeah, no, I guess this is the right move. Tatanka continuing to move in. Okay, now he's going to try to get home with these remaining cams. I think they are going to make it. Melvin looking for a stealth reveal there and misses it. Yeah, all these cams doing a great job against the mice, against the moles. Really smart decision making from Tatanka. I mean, Chameleons are really strong this patch. At least they feel that way to me. And he's really leveraging them. And the Owls were nerfed, you know, so... I mean, yeah, mice are still strong, but the cams are tanky enough and deal enough damage to mow through the mice pretty quickly. Tatanka's got his own Owl here on the front lines, and I believe Tatanka should be winning this fight. Not enough cams here for Melvin. Melvin is going to tap. GG. Tatanka gets another point on the board. And we get one step closer to a game number 9 hype match. We are very close. Tatanka just needs to win one more. And we've taken the series all the way. 3-4, though. Even if Melvin wins right here, I think that's still pretty hype. What do we got coming up next? Oh, this is crazy. Lizard, snake, boar, badger, owl, fox. Oh my god. I love this for a random mirror. This is actually really cool for a lot of reasons. Because for one, you got the lizards, right? So you can just build lizards if that's what you want to do. And then you got boar, badger, owl, fox, which all kind of have like a counter each other kind of relationship. And then the snake, which counters most of the tier 3 pretty well. So you have so many options here. You can build snake to try to counter the opponent tier 3. You can try to run them over with lizards. You know, you could try to sniff out, oh, they're going fox, I'm going to get owl. Oh, they're going owl, I'm going to get badger. These are really cool decks. I'm excited. Over here on the left-hand side, Melvinfro. And over on the right, Tatanka. I'll be honest, I was a little bit hesitant on how well I thought the random mirror was going to work out for the grand finals. But I think it's been pretty fun. And there has been a lot of expression of skill. Both players going for 4-farm doubles, by the way. Neither side knows that the opponent's doing it. Tatanka smells it out first. Let's see, Melvin. But yeah, no, so far I think it's been a lot of fun. I mean, the reason I was a little bit concerned how cool it would be is because the players don't really have, obviously, the ability to dictate their decks, which is such a big part of Tooth and Tail. But these random mirrors have been pretty cool. Like, both sides are just kind of given these random tools, and they're trying to build the best thing out of them that they can, right? And both sides have the exact same units. It's on a map that has 0 variance, which I think is important as well. There's nothing like, oh, that map's better for Melvin, or Tatanka had too many gristmills on this one. It wasn't fair. You know, we've got a nice balanced custom map here. Random mirror. So yeah, it's been really fun so far. I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. Kind of funny, both sides went for a 4-farm double, which kind of, you know, turned it into a no harm, no foul situation. And we're going to have to see the decision making from here. Both sides have 6 lizards to run around with. Scouting is going to be really important for a lot of reasons. Looking for more tier 1 Warrens. I mean, you could just spam lizards here. You could be macroing up on the second base. You could be hiding a fox. So anything like that is going to be very, very critical to figure out as soon as possible. Tatanka so far not seeing much. Does see some more. Okay, good scout there for Tatanka. Sees additional tier 1 Warrens going down for Melvin. Melvin hasn't gotten a scout in on Tatanka in quite some time, though. And Melvin really railing in with the tier 1. No farms just yet on that second base. And good reaction here from Tatanka. You know, not getting too crazy on the farms. Trying to keep up in the lizard count. I don't know if 2... Okay, well, 1 farm comes down for Melvin. I was going to say maybe 2 might be, like, just too many. Generally, like, 1 farm I think is better in that situation. Actually, I think it would be fine because he didn't have to pay for the mill. Right? Because normally it's, like, 120 food in eco with the mill plus 1 farm, but 2 farms in this case also represents 120 food. Anyways, rambling on about a very minute point. Melvinfro starting to saturate up now. Oh, Tatanka D. Okay, Tatanka's in position. Again, with the limited vision, you know, trying to come in and dive with some lizards can be very difficult. Tatanka sees that pack of lizards in the center of the map. Tatanka gets an okay scout on the second base. And yeah, he's going to look around for tier 3. Meanwhile, Melvin did save up enough, and here it is, boar on the way for Melvinfro. Tatanka maybe setting up for a base race. Starting to grab some mills. Ooh, this would be a really good time for Tatanka to strike, and is he going to just go for it? Yeah, Melvin's investing all this money into tier 3 right now. Melvin is not on the front line. Tatanka has a superior lizard number here. He's going to be able to wreck all these lizards. He's going to be able to kill all these pigs and maybe take us into game 9. Let's see. Melvin's not quite dead yet. But a huge victory here for Tatanka. Gets that last pig even. And Tatanka's going to keep the pressure up, it looks like. This might be overextending. I think he just really wants to get this last pig. And he's not going to get it, which is unfortunate. Alright, he's starting to bleed off lizards here pretty bad. He needs to go home. That last attack, yeah, I think Tatanka was just trying to end the game right there. But Melvin did have enough Tier 1 warrants. Melvin, during all that chaos, too, did sell off that additional Tier 3 he was going for. Very clutch move there. So, Melvin taking some big hits, but not completely dead just yet. Keep in mind, Tatanka didn't have an established economy, really. So, yeah, I mean, Tatanka got a lot of kills, but he didn't really have a lot of pigs in the first place. And, oh, no, a misrally here from the Lizards of Tatanka gives Melvin a nice little edge. Melvin is going to hop in and try to return the favor onto Tatanka. Will Tatanka have enough reinforcements here? I think so, but Melvin will be able to kill a pig. Economy's going down into the dumps for both sides, but the secret sauce here is that Melvin was able to get this Tier 3 out that Tatanka still hasn't scouted, still has no idea exists. Oh, Tatanka sees the board now. Alright, I guess you base race? What's the move if you're Tatanka here? Yeah, you base race. So Tatanka's getting set up for that right now. He's going to wait for Melvin to move across the map with the boar. And then he's going to try to attack. But very smartly, Melvin's actually leaving his lizards back at home to defend. He realizes the boar is just enough. And he catches this lizard, giving away the plan. Oh, the lizards of Tatanka bust onto this boar. He's going to lose all of them, though. And that's going to allow Melvin to counterattack here. 15 lizards against none. Melvin scouts at third base. Okay, he's going to knock this base out, but Tatanka's not totally dead yet. I think Melvin might have been able to end the game there, but even still, this might just be too much. How is Tatanka going to come back here? The economy is superior for Melvin. Melvin is not going to commit just yet with these lizards. He's already paid for another boar, too. Melvinfro is starting to look like he's going to be our 2021 Duels Grand Finals champion. He's going to earn the bragging rights and the cash money. There is a cash prize on this tournament. But I believe in Tatanka. I don't want to count him out just yet. He's trying to figure out something. He's got to figure out a way. These lizards are in position. Tatanka just wanted to try to snipe this mill. But Melvin, keeping his army in the right spot, is going to clean these up. And that's going to be a tap from Tatanka? I mean, why tap? You know? We are here. But what else can Tatanka do? One farm against 10. This is game. I can't hype it up much more, unfortunately. Tatanka going to try something. He might as well. But Melvinfro is going to be our 2021 Duels champion. Tatanka coming in, sells everything off. And yeah, that is going to be it, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Some really fun games today. I'm a little disappointed that we weren't able to get into game number 9, but we got pretty dang close. We got to game number 8, so. Melvin being very cautious. Yeah, I like this move from Tatanka. I mean, he's just having fun at this point. Pretending to rally, keeping Melvin in the base. Man, I wish there was a way for Tatanka to come back. Some moles or something. But he's just not got anything here. This boar really won the game. Again, Tatanka with these fake rallies. That's so funny. He's just going to starve out here. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Melvinfro. After a long, hard journey. You know, the spring open, the summer open, the fall open, and finally the winter finals. Melvinfro takes it and is going to be crowned the victor of the 2021 Duels. And that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always a pleasure. The players have declined an interview. They do not want to hop on, which is totally okay. And I have some messages here from the gentleman about the 2021 season. He said the finals went very smoothly. He's very satisfied with how fast everything went. 5 weeks for a 6-round event. I do agree with that. Especially the winter finals. It seemed like we got into a really good pattern of every weekend. The players playing the matches through the week, and then every weekend, me and Tosh and Tandor, streaming the games. Big thanks for all the participants. Special thanks to Premium Bow, who helped out a lot. This is gentleman's words, by the way. Thanks to Premium Bow. Helped out a lot with rule making, feedback, map editing, and tournament organization. Gentleman does not have any future plans for the moment for the next 2021 something event. He's got some other things going on in his life, but so no plans just yet, but I will imagine we'll see another 21 duels eventually in the future. And last time for the plug, but again, everybody, 2022 Tooth and Tail Championship Season 1 sign-ups are underway. We've got a beginner league, an intermediate league, and a premier league. You need to sign up as soon as possible for this event, especially if you want to play in Premier League. You have less time to sign up there because there's going to be like Premier League placement, qualifiers, that kind of stuff. But again, I hear all the time, people saying they want to get involved with Tooth and Tail. They want to play it. They enjoy watching these VODs. It looks like fun. This is definitely the chance to play. If you're new or haven't played a lot of ranked or a lot of competitive, the beginner league is perfect for you. If you're somebody like me who's been playing forever, but maybe a little bit rusty or out of shape, intermediate league, and then of course our tryhards, our esportsers, they play in the premier. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. It's always a pleasure, and I will see you guys. What's next? Probably I might cover the bronze match. It might be another streamer. That's the only thing we've got left for 2021 duels. And then, of course, once 2022 TNT Champion Season 1 starts going, I'll be covering that as well. So, everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Congratulations to Melvinfro for winning. Big shout out to the gentleman, of course, for the great event. Always really creative, quirky stuff that he comes up with. Of course, thanks to Premium Bow for helping organize this. And thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning in and being part of the scene. It really matters to us. I think I speak for everybody when I say, Tooth and Tail is kind of a hidden RTS gem. It's a really fun game. It's not as popular as it deserves to be. So, big thanks to everybody watching, everybody who plays in these kind of events to keep the scene alive and moving forward. And, of course, big shout out for Tandor Draco. For taking the mantle to keep Tooth and Tail Championship going. And I look forward to playing against you guys in the championship or catching y'all there on the next VOD. So, see you, everybody.